राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगं रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगं ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे।
I'll put it up.
Anybody has got power bank? It's not charged.
I might have it in my car.
Huh?
I might have it in my car.
थोड़ी सी बटरी छूटी है।
C केबल चाहिए, C वाली C केबल चाहिए बड़ी।
I'll give it another shot. Hopefully ये काम करना चाहिए। एक मिनट।
लंबी वाली C केबल है मेरे पास।
आप ट्राई करो प्रभु।
परफेक्ट। जब तक कोई टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टी नहीं हो ना तब तक खाना प्रसादम बढ़िया नहीं लगता। हरे कृष्णा। So I'll pray. I'll just to quickly do couple of more prayers. These prayers that I'm saying is that so that whatever I speak is not my interpretation. It should come from Srila Prabhupada and all the senior devotees as well as Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopishu Gopika Gata Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Tapte Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vindyavaneshwari Veshmahanusate Devi Pramami Hirpi Yatkrupadamanande Shri Gurumdev Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutra Shrimati Pachari Puru Dakshina Bhakti Chara Pranata Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutra Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityaname Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Tarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Really appreciate. Please थोड़ा आगे आ जाइए. Feel like कि वो होते ना कि I'm deflecting people. You can stay at least on the. Don't sit on the floor. You guys come forward. जो लोग couch पे टेक लगा के बैठे हैं, that's okay. The people who are not, people who are young, they can come forward. Thank you. So, can speak. Put a mic then picture. I want you to tell us what are we studying. What's the topic? The heading, the top one.
Science of self-discovery.
Okay, and out of that, which topic we are discussing now? Number 5.
Why bad things
happen to good people, not to good people. Why bad things happen to good people. So, thank you, beta. So what happened, announcement. So you guys know when we're gonna have our picnic. When is it? 9th of March, that's correct. And when are we gonna have a Harinam? 14th of Feb, which is a Valentine's Day. So what beautiful gift we can give to our Valentine, Krishna, and the best thing we can do is go and do Harinam on the street of Melbourne. So please make sure you guys have water bottles. We will put information in the group anyway. Have water bottles ready. So once we finish Harinam, we will have Prashadam in I think Gopal's. We'll have Prashadam in Gopal's and then we'll come home. So how you want to do it, it's up to you. Do you want to drive to the city and meet us on Industry Station, or some of you want to carpool to the station and then take a train? I would rather take a train. Starts at 6:15. 6:15 starts at 6:15 and goes up to 8 o'clock. But it's not rigorous. You don't have to. If you're tired, you can sit down wherever you want. They go very, very slow all around the city. Kids are, make sure you are looking after your own kids kind of stuff. Don't rely on anyone else, please. Because sometimes, last time it happened that one person became in charge of 23 kids. And we lost 2 kids on EB Games. EB Game Shop. Somebody had to go back and find where they are. They were on EB Games trying to look at the games and stuff. So please make sure you're looking after your own kids. Is that okay? Alright. So, and on 7th of Feb, which is next Friday, we're not going to have a class because we will have a class in Encore. That's correct. How many of you have not booked for it? Raise your hands. Please book it, because if you don't book it, guess what's going to happen? No prashadam. Yes. Please book it in. And there are a lot of festivals that are coming. We're going to keep talking about these festivals. On 16th is Sunday? 16th of Feb, there is a Rath Yatra festival in St. Kilda. We'll give you more information in detail. हमारा जो भक्ति रक्षा ग्रुप संदीप स्वर्ण कृष्णा प्रभु and Gopi Vrinda Mataji, they have 2 stalls that we will all help out with. So if you want to help out Geetan Mataji and Sandeep Prabhu, message us. We'll organize seva for you. All right. You can help. Yeah, definitely you can help. All the kids can help as well. But there are different things. You can't just say, I want to do this. So when you come for help, we will tell you what help is needed, and only that help you can do. Huh? You can build what? You want to build stuff. If you have a service like that, you know what you can build? You can build people's morale by saying, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You want to build, yeah? Build morale of people. Okay? Bring your kartal with you. So what we'll do is, the topic is, why do bad things happen to good people? And we've discussed this in detail. We have done 2 classes on it. This topic is going to go for another 4 classes. I'm on slide number 14 of 244. So I don't know whether I can finish it in the next 3 weeks. But let's watch. Let me go back. I'm going to connect. Oh, I can't connect on your phone for some reason. Beta, you know. Yep. Got it. Can I have the phone, please? Thank you. That's it. All right, ready?
This is the number 1 question that Americans have about God. I once did a scientific poll of Americans and asked the question, if you can ask God any one question and you knew he'd give you an answer right now, what would you ask him? And by far, the number 1 question is, why does God allow pain and suffering in the world? And, you know, the truth is, people who ask that question, there are 2 kinds of people. One is just a big person who wants an intellectual answer, and that's okay. But for most people, it's because they're in the midst of suffering. And honestly, they don't really want an academic answer. They want Jesus. They want someone to be like Jesus to them. They want someone to put their arm around them and to weep with them and to encourage them and to pray for them. That's what they really need. And so I'm careful when I answer this question, not just to focus on the academics, but also on the personal side, that there is hope and there is a Father who loves us in the midst of what we're going through. And so I'd say this. God did not create evil and suffering. The Bible says God created and it was very good. But God, because he wanted us to be able to love him and love other people, had to give us free will. Because love requires a choice, either to love or not to love. You know, my kids, when they were little, had one of these Barbie dolls that had a string in the back, and you pull the string and it would say, I love you. You know, did that doll love them? No, of course not. It was a robot. It was a puppet. It was forced to say that. That's not love. In order for us to be able to love, we have to have the choice not to love. So God gave us free will, and guess what? We chose not to love. We chose to walk away from God. We chose not to love each other. I mean, I can take my hand and I can feed you if you're a hungry person, or I can take a gun and shoot you. But it's a little disingenuous to blame God if I take the gun and shoot you. I mean, so we have brought evil and suffering into the world. Did God create suffering and evil? No, but he did create, through giving us free will, the potential for that to come into the world. But he didn't leave us in the midst of that without hope. He sent Jesus Christ into the world to redeem humankind. And if we put our trust in him, we know that God will open up heaven for us. There will be a day where there is no suffering, where there are no tears. God offers an eternity with him in a perfect state without suffering. And he also says, you know what? I can take the difficulties of your life and I can draw good out of them. Maybe not always in this world, but Romans 8:28, we like to throw that around, that God can cause good things to emerge for those who follow him. But the truth is, that's a promise of Scripture. It's true. And God can draw people into the kingdom through suffering. He can sharpen our character through the suffering we go through. We can learn perseverance and so forth. So there's things that are positive that God can cause to emerge from the suffering in our life. That's not to say that suffering is good. It's not. It's hard. But when we have trust in Christ, we know there is a future of hope.
Who's got the mic? Okay, so let's quickly discuss what was in the video. What do you think was in the video? Who wants to try? Just few words. Anyone? Yeah, start.
Everybody has free will to do what they want to, but some people push God away. That's why there's suffering and pain in the world.
Wow, we should ask these guys last. Well done. That was really good. Pritesh, you wanted to say something? Yeah,
it
go.
basically tells us that anger, suffering, and all that bad stuff was never brought by God, and
Yes.
it was brought by us because we had a free will. They
Beautiful.
gave us a free will, they never gave us suffering.
Beautiful. So we choose. So does that mean anybody else want to say anything? Anything else that you heard that stood out that you want to share? Come on, share a few. Come, 1, 2. Come on, please. Oh, come on, man. Tough crowd today. All right. Let me rephrase something. If God hasn't created evil, it's our free will. That means if my friend is suffering, what should I make out of it? I know. What should I make out of it? My friend is suffering. Should I go and tell him? It's your free will. Free will. You chose to suffer, my friend. You chose. No? What can I tell him? If someone is suffering, what should I do? Huh? Yes. Why can't I say that it's your free will, man? You chose it. Now suffer. Tell me, why can't I say that? We just realized, hang on, guys. We just found out that God hasn't created evil. God hasn't created any sufferings. Why, if someone is suffering, it is because of the free will. Why can't I tell my friend, it's your free will, man? You used it wrong, so you're suffering. What? Why? Yes. Can I get the mic? Hold on. Mic over there. Where is Snehi Prabhu today?
He's in vacation. He's in Phuket.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So, probably because it might cause more pain to the other person and they don't understand that it's the free will, but they might be just thinking that it is caused by something.
Yes, very good. Yeah, we should not go there and talk to them because why? They are already suffering. Why say, mate, it's your free will? Yes, over here. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, it's also about giving the Vishwas. Vishwas देना है कि आज बुरा समय है.
Yes.
फिर नया समय आएगा. So you have to give the hope.
Very nice. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, do you ever ask for God to give you pain? Pain comes, yeah? So, if pain comes on its own, why don't you think the happiness will come on its own as well? Yeah? There was yes.
So I think if a person is already suffering and you're going and telling him something negative, you are also using your free will in a wrong way.
Yes.
Because God doesn't want you to, God wants you to help the people who are suffering.
Yes.
Not make them suffer more.
That's correct. But sometimes, as an yota, sometimes we have to sometimes cut a wound to heal the wound. Yes. How do you explain that? Yeah, but look, why? Like you're saying now, we should not hurt people, but doctor does hurt people.
When it's required,
Huh?
When it's required,
yes, like a father, if the son has like, done something wrong, father goes and gives him a really good talking. If the father is giving a very good talking, does that mean it's bad? Because you're hurting your son.
Is the choice of words in the tone that we use, perhaps?
Yeah. Yes.
Prabhuji, I think sometimes the journey through pain, the end path to, pain-free, what is the opposite of pain? Like happiness, bliss, or joy, or whatever it is through the pain, and you probably understand and probably appreciate it more. The joy and happiness side of it as well.
But that's the same thing. If this guy is in suffering, if I have to go and tell him, it's your own karma, man, get over it. Why can't I tell him that? It's the same thing.
That's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to solve
what
his
are we trying? Good, very good. You're in a right line. What is the problem that we want to solve? What are we trying to solve for? Good. Thank you.
I think if someone is living in darkness and they don't know what light is, they won't know what they are missing out. So even if we tell them, okay, it's because of you, they have already made that choice because they didn't know probably that the other choice existed.
Yes.
Or maybe they didn't know how it is to live in that choice. So if we tell them you're living in darkness, it's not going to make any difference to them unless they see light.
Very, very good. That's very deep. So what can we do? Like, how do we do it? I'm trying to do the same thing to my friend. I say, hey, mate, it's your problem. You must have done something wrong. You're suffering because of your own deeds. I said, wait, I know you know. I'm just drilling down more so that we get to the crux of it, because this is the only way we will remember this discussion. Yes. So why can't I tell my friend? I can tell him, because he doesn't know. I can tell him, hey, it's your own karma. Get over it. Why can't I do that? Anyone else? Yes, over here.
Is it always one's own choices, or it would be impact of others' choices?
Okay, who wants to answer that? Is it always one's own choice, or is it a choice of others? How much control do you have on your wives? Look at these blank faces at the front, all blank. Actually, डर लगता है ना, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ. That's blank. Yes, Prabhu. Can I have the mic over there, please?
I think, sir, Prabhuji, what I think is that yes, there is a way of saying it. You just can't be blunt and tell that okay, it is your past karma, you suffer.
But why can't I be blunt? Yes, that's a question.
The question, see, you can be blunt and tell him, but then what is the other side? What is he looking forward to next?
Yes.
That's what we need to.
What is the receptivity on the other side?
Receptivity, and what will be the next step after that?
Yes.
So what is the other person going to do after that? Okay, suffer, go into depression. Is that the point? No. Look towards the light, the better part of it. That okay, if you can guide, then say yes. There have been some things in the past. These things will come, but embrace these because this is the will of the God. But then yes, if you go the right way, and you believe in your parents, like if you believe in the Almighty, then the things will get all right as well. So there will be ups and downs. But
very good. That's what Prabhu said as well. Prabhu said ki hope, give them hope. So that's the point. What is the ultimate aim of this discussion? So when my friend is in pain, when I am approaching him, what should be the focus of me right now when I'm approaching him? What should be my first focus? To enlighten him, or to empathize with him, or to give him some support right now? Just listen. Who said that? Yes, only women can say that. Because they think that men don't listen, which is true. We hear it sometimes, but listening is a little bit. Very nice. Thank you. Because what happens is, yes, Auntie ji, आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
हर चीज का भी एक सॉल्यूशन भी तो होता ही है.
Mic.
Everything. मैंने मेरी अपनी लाइफ में मैंने यही जज किया, कोई भी कष्ट है उसका भी सॉल्यूशन है।
हाँ,
मतलब
नहीं, वेरी गुड। दिस इज कॉल्ड होप। देखो, दिस इज कॉल्ड होप।
ऑलवेज देयर इज द सॉल्यूशन, हर चीज का सॉल्यूशन।
ठीक है,
ये निकालना, हाउ टू डू दैट।
सो माय
रोने बैठ जाए,
हाँ,
नो आंसर।
बिल्कुल सही, नहीं बिल्कुल सही बोला। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम अप्रोचिंग माई फ्रेंड, I can right. So what happens is, what did Krishna do when Abhimanyu died? What did Krishna do? Anybody knows? Arjun was crying for Abhimanyu, literally crying, yelling and saying, "I'm going to kill everyone. I'm going to kill the whole. I'm going to kill Jayadratha. I'm going to kill this." Krishna didn't go. 3 दिन पहले तेरे को भगवद गीता सुनाई थी. I've told you Bhagavad Gita 3 days ago. You forgot? What happened? You know, unko they had the he had the memory of like, you know, what do you call it? Once they hear, they never forget. What do you call that?
Memory of the devil. That's his strength.
No. What is it called? Eidetic memory, you know. So if you have an eidetic memory, he has he had eidetic memory. He did not. He's a Gudakesh, so he has not sleep. He has conquered over sleep. So even in the night, he would never sleep. During the day, he will practice. In the night, he will practice again. He could remember everything. But Krishna should have gone and say, "Hey, 2 दिन पहले बताया तेरे को, कैसा student है यार? You're the only. I chose you to give Bhagavad Gita. Now you're crying. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yuvanam jara. I told you this body is nothing. You are temporary. Your son is permanent. Your son's body was temporary, body was gone, son is still here, he's going to the next birth, whatever." Did he say that? Do you know what he did? And anybody knows what he did? Yes?
Actually, he took him to the,
No, first thing, what he did first thing? Krishna. First thing, when he saw Arjun crying, what did he do? No, very good try actually. Scold him. Huh? He went and cried with him. He sat next to him, gave him a hug and said, "I'm so sorry. This is happening." लेकिन हमारे साथ क्या है? ब्रिजेश प्रभु ने ना अभी पढ़ा दिया है कर्मा के बारे में. So अभी जाके ग्रैंडफादर पास्ड अवे. यार कितने 80 साल में तो जाना ही था ना यार. और कितना रुकते हैं? अच्छा वो चले गए. I'll tell you something which is not funny, but I'll tell you because this is the truth. We lost our Dora. She had 2 chambers, only 2 chambers instead of 4. So she passed away, and one of the guy actually came to my wife, older guy. He came to my wife. It's better. Suffering hoti usko. अच्छा हुआ चली गई. Imagine my wife. She just turned around. She didn't want to be rude and she just walked off. And she told me, "I don't want to see this guy ever again." Why? That's not what you tell someone who just lost a baby, saying that "Acha hua chali gayi." Krishna didn't do it. Krishna could have said, "अरे क्यों रो रहा, पागल है क्या? जो युद्ध में मरता है सीधा स्वर्ग मिलता है, टेंशन की बात ही नहीं है. तेरा बेटा याशी कर रहा है वहां पर स्वर्ग में, टेंशन नहीं है." ऐसे नहीं बोला कृष्ण. He cried with her. So, why, if we get stuck in why bad things happen to good people, we have to understand why is it happening. We have to understand it, but we have to understand it for ourselves, not to give ज्ञान to others. दूसरों के साथ हमें क्या करना है? We just have to be empathetic. Just be with them, listen to them, hear them out, give them a hug, be with them. Okay, I had few more things, but it's gonna come into the class anyway. We discussed the material world. We discussed how this planetary system works last time. We did the summary. And we actually, there was a question was spiritual souls in material world. Why do spiritual souls come into this material world? We discussed that. We wanted to become independent of God. So we rebelled. So Krishna said, "Okay, you wanna go and enjoy on your own? You can't, but do you really want to? Here is the material world. You will feel like you're a king. But here, God does not coerce or compel to love. God क्या करता है? भगवान, जैसे इसमें भी वीडियो में भी देखा था. He was talking about Jesus Christ saying that he is the savior. Lord Jesus Christ, he was what did he tell everyone who he was? Servant of the servant of the servant. And what is our Acharya says? Servant of the servant of the servant. So Jesus Christ.
But Prabhuji, I think Christians say that he was son of God.
Yeah. But I'm saying, what does he say about himself? He said, I am the servant of the servant of the servant. So Krishna took the service of washing people's feet and उनकी जो चप्पलें हैं उनको अरेंज करने का वो लिया था इन राजसी यज्ञ के समय. Similarly, Jesus Christ, he used to wash feet of people going on a pilgrimage. You know? So God has given us free will, and he will never force us to love him. What he does is, he actually gives us, he gives people, he sent people for us. You know? We have free will, we misuse the free will, and then Krishna actually says, and the second question was, if we actually fall down, we want to go back home, back to Godhead in spiritual world, but what if we can't reach there? Krishna says, Na tat bhasayate shuryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatvana nivartante tadham paramam mama. He says, once you go there, you will never come back. You know? And we looked at a story of a son when he actually left his dad because he wanted to enjoy on his own, and how he got suffered. He had a lot of suffering. He came back, God and his father took him inside again. Similarly, God, we have left God, but God is waiting for us to accept us. And we discuss what is the difference between exploitation and service. We discuss a very lengthy topic on difference between lust and love. Anybody remembers what was the difference between lust and love? Love is permanent. It's not depending on, it doesn't depend on time, place and circumstances and anything else. It has got no conditions in it. Yeah? And lust has condition. You know? What do people say in India? In the matrimonial, we need a tall, dark, handsome guy. You know? Because it's got nothing to do with love. Because as soon as that guy is not handsome, no longer there's no love, you know. So same with girls actually. Just now, आंटी जी आपके जमाने में नहीं होता होगा.
सारे बच्चे हमारे पास बैठे हैं, सभी प्यारे हैं. जब वो
अब मैं कुछ बोलूं कि नहीं बोलूं? Should I say something?
ढूंढते हैं हम मैट्रिमोनियल ढूंढते हैं, है ना? तो उस समय ये तो होता नहीं कि वाइफ गोरी होती है, हस्बैंड काला होता है. तो ये थोड़ी कि उसने लिखा था कि मेरे लिए काला नहीं होता ना, और फिर भी वो उतना ही प्यारा होता है.
नहीं. I was just saying that people look at life partners. We look for life partners based on what? Physical appearance, or even not even physical. Like this guy was telling me that, you know, I got married. I got married because my wife was extremely witty. So I said, and he goes, that's the best thing about her. And I said, that's it? He said, yes. I said, what if she stops being witty? And he had no answer. I'm not joking. He actually had no answer. I said, what if she stops talking? She's not even witty, and he had no answer. I said, so you don't love your wife. You love the wittiness. If another girl has a better wittiness, you might like her, wouldn't you? He still had no answer. So sometimes, most of the times, we are with our partners because of certain qualities in them. As soon as those qualities go away, there is a chance that we will fall out of love. There is a chance. But when we talk about love, you cannot fall out of love. Love is love. So no matter, like for a mother, son doesn't matter whether they are good looking or whatever it is. Yes, beta, you want to share something? Mike. He has a question.
before, when it said you can't go...
Where?
It's when the material world thing happened.
Oh, yeah.
So like you said that Krishna said you can come back to this world.
But you will never go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he said you can come to this world, but then after that he said when you go there you can't come back.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. So we discussed this last week as well. What happens is Yad Gatvana Nivartante, Bhagwan said, once you come back to me, that means you have left once. Have you heard, how many of you have heard this thing? Doodh ka jala chhach ko bhi fook fook ke pita hai. And can you explain? Can you translate in English? Someone who is...
Somebody is hurt actually, like he is very cautious.
Yes, somebody got hurt, they are cautious, too cautious next time, you know?
Once burnt, twice shy.
Once burnt, twice shy. Okay? That's the thing. So once burnt, twice shy. So we have left Krishna. We have been traveling in this circle for millions and millions of lifetimes. Trillions. We don't remember them right now. But when we go back home, back to Godhead, we will remember all of them. So it's not once bitten, twice shy. You know? It's actually millions of times bitten, always going to be shy. You know? So the reason is, एक तो ये reason है, दूसरा ये है, because Krishna said it. Another reason is because he said it. I'm not saying it. Krishna himself, who is God, he said that. Once you come back, you will never go back. So we have to accept that. And second is, we came first time because we were curious. All our curiosity has been fulfilled in these millions of lifetimes. You know, there's nothing left to be conquered. Okay? And there was another story, we looked at the lamb story. Then God has immense compassion for us. He sent his representative to guide us, like our gurus. Bhagavad Gita is there. And then the next question we discuss, why does God create this temporary and miserable material world? Because what are the possible things needed to be planned while planning a city? We have all this list, and there was one thing that was missing in this list. What was it? Prison. Yeah, jail. So what happens is, because when you're creating a city, there has to be a place where people who are not following the rules are kept, so that other people can live peacefully. That's why in the corner of his spiritual world, there is a material world. This material world is like a prison house. So we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. We didn't want to follow God's laws. So we were sent into the prison, and we discussed what is the need, what is the purpose of prison? Reformation. And there are two P's. There is two P's, which is prison. Prison has punishment and pain. And they give you clothes and chain. Two P's and two C's. But the actual reason why their prison is so that people can reform. If someone reforms before their term finishes, what happens? There is a chance that they can get released early. But if you don't reform, what happens? If you do more stupid things in there, your term can get increased. Or you go back and do the same thing again, you go back to the jail again. And who was the jailer of this prison house? Durga Ma. So now, we discussed this, and then today we're going to talk about the same thing. Why does God create the temporary and miserable material world? It has 4 issues. हम लोगों ने first topic में discuss करा था ये. There are 4 problems. 4 तरह की punishment. Punishment is birth, death, old age and disease. So there are 4 things nobody wants. What are these? That's why it's called permanent problems. And we discuss this in detail. Why doesn't someone want birth? Not you. Let me see if there is anyone else. Yes, beta. How? Brilliant question. Krishna is like, he looks 16. He looks like 16 years old, but he's actually eternal. So I don't know how old is he. I can't say that. But that's a very good question. We'll discuss this in detail, okay?
9 months, वो जो छेलना होता है एक जीव को because of that.
हाँ, very nice. Nobody want. अभी हम लोगों को लगता है ना कि नहीं यार, the first time I was giving this class, somebody says, what's problem with birth? I know nobody wants death, nobody wants old age, nobody wants diseases, but birth everybody wants. We wanted child. That's no. It's not about we wanted child. Does the child who is in the womb? There's a description in Srimad Bhagavatam about how terrible the life of a baby in the womb is. So nowadays, like in last 50 years, sonography jab aayi hai, tab se 60 years, we know about the baby, when the baby's limbs develop within the first trimester mein kya hota hai, second mein kya hota hai, third mein kya hota hai. We all know that. But in our Shastras, it's written in our Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto, exactly kab hota hai, aur usme likha hai ki when we are in the womb, when a mother, when pregnant women, they like to eat spicy food because they're craving for it. You know what that is? That is a punishment for the baby. Because the baby has skin. Imagine if hamare haath pe skin now. Baby does not have an actual skin, pores. It's exposed. Everything is exposed. And the baby is in an amniotic, amniotic fluid. And because of that amniotic fluid, उसमें जो spices जाते हैं, उसके traces उसमें होते हैं, उसके skin पे लगते हैं, and he cries inside. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is written that when we were in the womb, we were saying, Krishna, please, I will never do what I did in my past life. Please, यहाँ से निकालो मुझे, I am sick. Please, I don't want to go to this world. Please get me out of this misery and I will always remember you. But as soon as he comes out, he forgets. Why he forgets? Because this world has one thing. Krishna sent us to this world so that we can feel that we are God. In order for us to feel like that, he has to do a covering of Maya. As soon as a baby is born, it's covered by Maya straight away. So they forget who they are, who they were in the past life. They forget everything. But they still have one thing, which is free will. So when they're growing up, they still have free will to choose what they want to choose. Yes, you were saying something? First mic over there, please. Piche.
I agree about the chili and spices, but somehow I feel a baby doesn't have any thoughts and understanding.
That's not true actually. Baby has lots of thoughts. The brain is developed. If you look at, now neuroscience has created the kind of, prefrontal cortex, which doesn't develop as much when kids are growing up. It's already present when baby's head is created. Already the seed of the brain is already there. The problem is we think that our mind and brain are same, but mind is all around our body. Mind is not localized. So the baby can actually feel everything. And they can feel the emotion of the mother. They can also feel emotions of people outside. That's why pregnant women, they were not allowed to go in a places where there's violence. Even Muslims, they are not allowed. Muslim women are not allowed to go near butchers to see those violent things, because that impact the baby. It is very well-known studies now that the more the baby is exposed to harsh voices, it will impact. They will have a permanent impact on their brain when they are born. That's why kids are supposed to be like with a very, you give them, if you tell them stories, they listen to the stories, because their karana, the first thing that is created in a human embryo is ears, and the last thing that people lose is hearing. Last thing.
Like how Abhimanyu learned that.
That's correct. Abhimanyu learned how to break the Chakravyuh while he was in the womb. So while, like for example, even Prahlad Maharaj knew all about Vedas and everything, because Narad Muni was telling Prahlad's mother when he was in the womb. So it's definitely happens. Yes, beta.
You know how you said that when like the baby is born, like he comes out, that he forgets everything in his past life. Then how do some people like still remember them?
Yes, some people do remember, but they don't remember as soon as they're born. The memories come back because of their own karmas. Some of the karmas, the memory can come back when they're like 3, 4, 5-year-old. So instantaneous, because the Maya's impact is so huge, there's no memory. But it starts getting developed. Actually, they might have memories, but what happens is, and they don't know how to express it because they're so little. They don't know. Even kids, like until you're probably around teenager, your prefrontal cortex is still in the making, so that first of all, kids can't distinguish between the emotions, and if they can, they don't know how to manage it. So for example, that's why kids say, I want this, and sometimes they say, I want this right now, and you say, what's going on? Like, he's a crazy kid. He's not crazy. The prefrontal cortex is not developed as yet. So the kids, when they remember, some of the kids, when they remember past life, it's actually because of their own karma as well. Because of their own karmic reactions, they remembered, because remembering the past life is actually not a very good thing. It's very painful. So it's actually a bad karma to remember the past life. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mattah smriti jnana apohanam cha. I give you smriti, which is memory, jnana, which is knowledge, apohanam, forgetfulness. All three comes from me. So he is responsible for making sure somebody is remembering, somebody is not remembering, based on your own karma. Okay? Yes? Huh?
प्रभु वो कहते हैं ब्रह्म कुमारी में एक शिवानी जी है ना,
हाँ,
वो उनका इंटरव्यू एक बार देखा था मैंने। वो बता रही थी कि जो जैसे किसी की माँ के पेट में बच्चा है और माँ बाप लड़ रहे होते हैं, है ना, तो वो झगड़ा करते हैं, तो बच्चा उस समय होकर भी वो फील करता है
100%.
Why should I come in this house?
That's correct.
जहाँ पेरेंट्स अभी से इतना लड़ते हैं, ये क्या करेंगे मेरा?
And it's trauma. Now there is a term for it. There is a specific kind of trauma. They say fetus can have a traumatic experience as well. And one of the traumatic experiences is this: when he hears loud noises, bickering, swearing, all of those things, even that music. There has been a direct relationship on what kind of music a mother hears. Yeah. Metallic, those Metallica and all those sort of music. There are kids who have born with deformities because of music. People used to say, oh, it's all rubbish. But now they've done a lot of studies on plants and stuff, and now they're accepting it. So what they do is they make sure that everybody knows. Make sure you have a good environment, calm, collected, don't go to... That's why women were not allowed to meet anyone else. Like, gossip bhi nahi karne ko bola jata hai.
And spiritual...
Yes, you have to... Yeah, whatever spirituality mother does, kids will have that sukriti already. Definitely, 100%. So why does God create this temporary miserable world? It's for punishment. There is Trishul. The Trishul hota hai Durga Maa ka, it represents threefold of miseries. The first one is Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika and Adi Devika. Adi Atmika kya hai? Miseries from body and mind. पैर दर्द हो रहा है वाइफ ने आज मेरे को गुड मॉर्निंग नहीं बोला, मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया. वाइफ की गलती नहीं है, गलती किसकी है? मेरे दिमाग की. सो व्हेन डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, ये सारा क्या है? आदि आत्मिका है, बॉडी एंड माइंड. घुटने दुख रहे हैं. आदि भौतिका मतलब मिजरीज बाय अदर एंटिटीज, है ना. बहू ने बोल दिया सास को कुछ, सास ने बोल दिया बहू को कुछ. दैट्स आदि भौतिक. मच्छर ने काट लिया, डेंगू, मलेरिया, वायरसेस. एंड आदि दैविक क्या हो गया? नेचुरल डिस्टर्बेंस. So the material world is like hospital for diseased souls. तो अभी क्या है कि the other day somebody was asking me, you guys are, he was like laughing and he goes, you guys are from ISKCON? I said, yeah, I'm trying. And he said, you guys, I met this ISKCON guy, he was trying to give me Bhagavad Gita, but he's a terrible guy. He did this to me, he did that to me. And I said, so what do you want me to do? He said, I'm telling you, all you ISKCON guys are bad. So I said to him, look, maybe, ISKCON guys are still guys, human beings. We are not like, we are not a different species, like, we are still human beings. So then I told him, then when he calmed down, I said to him, look, in the hospital, imagine I go to the hospital. Walk into the hospital, and Lalit Prabhu is already there. I say, hey Lalit Prabhu, kaise ho aap? Lalit Prabhu said, oh, good. Kitna time ho gaya Lalit Prabhu? Lalit Prabhu ne 1 hafta ho gaya. अच्छा मेरा तो अभी एंट्री मिली है, अभी मेरे को तो इन्फेक्शन अभी हुआ है. आपको कितने दिन से है? बोले ब्रिजेश प्रभु 5 दिन से है. यार ये कोई बात है? 5 दिन से आप हॉस्पिटल में पड़े हो, फिर भी बीमार हो, क्या फायदा है ऐसे हॉस्पिटल का? निकलो यहां से. Is it logical? Stupidity. But that's what we do. Said, hey, you're in ISKCON. How come you're not a pure devotee? I am in ISKCON. ISKCON is what? A hospital. I am still getting treated. I still have ailments. Agar the day, the day when we realize we have no ailments? When we don't have this body. Until we have this body, that means we are still diseased. Abhi hamare paas hai disease. So we should not judge people. There are someone was telling me about Christianity. This guy was saying so many things bad about Christianity. And he said to me, these Christian people, they are doing this, they are doing all this nonsense, but they preach about God. And I said, so what? Just because they preach about God does not make them non-human. They are still human. We all have issues. We all are dealing with issues. We are all trying. We are all on a different stages of our disease. कुछ लोगों की infection बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया, किसी का थोड़ा बचा है, किसी का बहुत सारा बचा है. जिसका ज्यादा infection है वो ज्यादा दिन रुकेगा. We can't just say, hey, 1 साल हो गया हॉस्पिटल में पड़े हो. अरे यार बैकबोन टूट गई है मेरी, यार 1 साल लगता है. Why are you asking me this? Just because मैं 1 साल से हॉस्पिटल में doesn't mean कि यार I am trying to take advantage of the hospital. यार I can't. मेरी बैकबोन में issue है. So that's what happens. It's a hospital for diseased souls. So we should not start pointing people as well, because we are in the same hospital. And that's called self-righteousness. We start saying, this guy came to me and I was talking to him about coming to these classes. मैंने उसको बोला please आओ classes में. बोले क्या पढ़ाते हो? भगवद गीता. भगवद गीता मेरे को बहुत बार पढ़ी हुई मैंने. अच्छा, तो क्योंकि मैं भी ऐसे ही बोलता था तो आई नो ना, पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है. तो मैंने बोला अच्छा, तो व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ भगवद गीता? कहते कुछ नहीं, लड़ाई माफ करो. मैंने कहा दैट्स अ पर्पस. तो फिर मैंने उसको बोला ओके, इफ दैट्स द पर्पस देन व्हाई शुड आई मीन, फिर आपने क्यों पढ़ी? आपने पढ़ के कुछ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आया? बोले कुछ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं आया, इट्स जस्ट भगवान है और दैट्स इट. भाई मैं तो पूरे मन से भगवान को याद करता हूँ, लेकिन मेरे से ये सारे काम नहीं होते जो आप लोग करते हो ना, तिलक विलक लगाते हो. आई डोंट लाइक डूइंग दैट. तो मैंने उसको बोला ओके ठीक है, if that's the case, if you don't know the purpose, I'll tell you what was the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. And I told him for in few minutes. I said Bhagavad Gita was written, it's like a life manual. जैसे हम लोग लैपटॉप खरीदते हैं, शेयर खरीदते हैं, it comes with a manual. Our life has a manual called Bhagavad Gita. He said no. मैंने कहा wow, क्या? What do I say now? He bluntly saying no. And I said what do you mean? He said उसमें तो कुछ था ही नहीं. How do I live my life? And I said उसमें था, but you did not hear it, because the thing that you're looking from, like if I have pink glasses, I will only see pink, everything in the pink shade. I said because you must have read Bhagavad Gita, but you have not read Bhagavad Gita as a manual. You have read Bhagavad Gita as I want to be पार्टी में बोल सकता हूँ भगवद गीता पढ़ी है. When you used to have 2 packs, after that only spirituality comes out, and in English, not just in Hindi, in English. संस्कृत भी English accent में बोली जाती है उसके बाद. So he said, I told him that's okay, no problem. I wanted him to come here, but he said no, I don't want to. So he had a free will. If Krishna is not interfering, who am I? That means iska time nahi aaya abhi. But does it mean I'm better than him? No, I'm just a little bit more fortunate than him. कि किसी ने मुझे लात मार के यहाँ पर बिठा दिया, you know. But somebody has been done for him, and I just prayed for him and let him go. He's in the hospital. I am in the hospital. You know, at least I know कि मुझको जो prescription मिल रहा है ना, this is gonna help me get better. He is on prescription as well, which is misery जा रही है ना उसको. That's prescription, but he doesn't know whether that prescription is gonna help him. You know, and that's why he will take longer. Yes, can I have the mic over there, please? Over there.
So the people who die early.
Do this. Yes.
So the people who die early, that means they are good people, right?
Not really.
But why? Because they have reformed early, so they have been released from this world.
No. So so some people who die early, they have not gone out of the prison. They have gone into a different cell. इस जेल से निकाल के, तिहाड़ जेल से निकाल के दूसरी जम्मू कश्मीर की जेल में डाल दिया. बस that's it.
So when they are finally released, how do?
When you go back home, back to Godhead, when you get out of this material world. So when we leave this body, our soul, because you must have missed the starting of the classes. So we discussed that we are not the body, we are the soul. So when we die, our soul together with mind, intelligence and ego, these are three subtle bodies that goes with our soul to the next body. We get a new body. Based on what? Based on our own karmas from this birth and previous births. The only time we will go back home, back to Godhead, when we don't have this subtle body, mind, intelligence and ego, when they are dissolved. The only way that can be dissolved is when you do bhakti, pure bhakti. Not anything else, not rituals, but actual bhakti. When you are in love of God, when you love God. I mean, we all love God, but हमारी सबका love किस में है? धनम देहि पुत्रम देहि सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे. There is a verse in there. तन मन धन सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या. Now that aspect, तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा, that's bhakti. But सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, that's not the purpose of bhakti. भक्ति का पर्पस नहीं है कि हम लोग सब सुखी हो जाएं. भक्ति का पर्पस है कि हमारे अंदर जो the love of God that we have inside, जो हमारी soul का nature है to love God, that has been covered because of our wrong choices for so many births. Now when we do bhakti, that particular जो जंग लगा ऊपर जो जंग लगा है हार्ट पे, slowly and gradually it's coming off. One day when we become clean, then we will realize we already are in love of God. That's when our mind, intelligence, ego will dissolve, and then we leave our body. We will not go to a next body, material body. We will go back home, back to Godhead, where we came from originally. So somebody who dies early means that now their chance to move their cell. So whatever purpose, so for example, everybody has a term. You have a reformation term of this in here, and the rest of the reformation, either you can go to Nark. Some people from after this, they go Nark directly to suffer there. Some people die and go to Swarg to enjoy a little bit more because they've done good karmas in the past. Some people actually come back again, they get another chance next birth to do the same thing again, to make the choices again. But the good thing is, हम लोगों में से सब लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं. This is not the first birth you are here. You've been coming to programs like this for millions of lifetimes. Not all of them, or not all of you, some of you. Some of you, somebody has given you a sukriti of giving you prasad or anything like that, and you guys are here. Some of you have been doing this for lifetimes. So, but what happens is, all of us, the day we die, we will take birth in a place which is conducive to bhakti again. And we keep doing that until we become reformed. The one we're talking about. Does it make sense? Okay, cool. So, and another thing is, material world is like a school. जहाँ पर एग्जाम होते हैं. What are the exams in this school? In this material world, what are the exams? All the difficulties are exams. Yes, all the challenges are the exams. लेकिन हम लोग उस एग्जाम्स को क्या समझते हैं? It's a punishment. It's actually not punishment. Suppose if you go, मैंने एक बहुत बार एग्जाम्पल दिया है. If I go to gym and I use this as dumbbells, how much muscles can I build? Nothing. Why not? The more the resistance is, the bigger the muscles are. Same with spirituality. If you want to grow, you need issues in your life. If you have a difficult wife, that means you will have an amazingly strong spiritual muscles by the time you die. Think like that. And same with the wives. If you have a difficult husband, you are doing amazing exercises. All you have to do is don't stop doing the exercise. That's the only way. You will not make any muscle. Because what happens is, there are some couples who lose. यार ठीक है, इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता है, इससे बहस ही नहीं करनी. What happens then? You left the dumbbells down. You're not doing any exercise. Exercise means till the day you die, you keep working on your marriage. The person who can do that is the person who will win finally, because that's when you will realize who you are. आपको पता है, I'll give you a simple example. When I got married to my wife, after that, like after a few years, we got married in 2010. 2014, I came to class like this and I started chanting and everything. So, most of you know that I do, like most of the people who are willing to get initiated, they do 2 hours of chanting every day. But I used to get up and I used to chant, like, some here, some there. My wife always used to see me with the bead bag. And she used to say, you don't spend time with me, man. What's wrong with you? You don't spend time with me. Always your hand is in the bead bag. Like, you don't have time for us. You have time for everything. So I went to my mentor at ISKCON. And I told him, I want to leave my wife. He goes, what? He said, because she's not conducive to my bhakti. And he said, why? I said, she's saying I can't chant. And he said, why would she say that? Because I don't spend time with her. And he goes, why don't you spend time with her? Because I'm chanting always. And then he told me, he grilled me for over 2 hours and he told me, you're such an idiot. He said, your first responsibility is your family. You can't escape. He used a very amazing word. He goes, you cannot escape being a husband because of your bhakti. I said, what do you mean? He said, you need to be there for her. So what I did, I asked him, so what do I do? He said, don't chant in front of her. She doesn't want you to chant in front of her. Don't chant in front of her. I said, what do I do? He said, what time she gets up? I said, 6 o'clock. He said, you get up at 4 and chant for 2 hours. Finish chanting before she gets up. I said, okay. And that's what I've been doing since it's been 10 years. And I'm telling you, everything that I know, that's why I'm sitting here, because when I read all of these things, because of my wife. If I would have left my wife, I would not be sitting here giving these classes. It's because of the problem that my wife created for me, made me start doing the chanting early in the morning during Brahma Muhurat. So my spiritual progress happened because of my wife's anger, so to say. So all of us, we just don't know right now. Us samay I did not know that my wife is helping me become a better devotee. A lot of you guys, when you're dealing with your partners, you think that, oh my goodness, this is pain. But you don't know this. When someone is pushing you from one direction, it's building your spiritual muscles. Always remember that. It's very hard. It's very easy to say. Retrospectively, I can say it. But right now it's happening to me. I may not see it. You might not see it. So remember, even the boss, I had a really bad boss and I was so upset. I used to come and tell my wife, kya boss hai, this is this, she's that. So, and then probably around 3 years I worked under her and then I got promoted. And I'm not joking. After that, 4 years in a row, I won all the awards. Why? Because I knew what not to do when you are a manager. I learned from who? My previous boss. She came in my life, made my 3 years miserable to make a better leader out of me. Oh, did I love her at that time? No. Do I love her now? No. But I know that she had a purpose. She did it. She did it. She was in my life to design. So all of us, we are blank canvases. People around us bring out the best in us. The problem is still your choice. Somebody comes and you look at them as your enemy, then you will have anger, envy, all of these things. But when you look at them as someone who is actually there to help you grow as a human being, then every single thing can help you grow. If you think your sass, your mother-in-law is bad, just remember that when you become mother-in-law. You know? Because what happens is, usually we forget. Usually forget what happens to me. If you are this guy I was helping, and then he never listened to me. I was doing couples counseling kind of stuff. He never listen to me. And then after some time, like a couple of years later, like recently, his wife told me that everything I used to tell him, now he's teaching his friend. Now he's teaching his friend, and because of that, he's becoming a better husband. You know? So we don't know kahan par jaake hamara kuch ek cent can help someone else. But remember, it's not about helping, it's about the problems in your life. Some people think, I don't have a good job, I don't have a good boss, I don't have a good wife, I don't have a good husband, I don't have good kids, I don't have good neighbors. Some people say, I don't have good friends. All of these things, if you look at it differently, you will get different results. It's not what they do in your life, it's how you react. And that's why it's a school. So if I have a bad manager, if I'm learning from my bad manager what not to do, then I'm passing that exam. Does it make sense? If I have a bad friend and he cheated me, that is teaching me how not to be that kind of a person. And that is a school. The more we learn in this life, the only time you will learn in this life is when you are in discomfort. There is nothing you can learn. You cannot grow when you are comfortable. We all know, na? जब हम बड़े होते हैं, शरीर बड़ा होता है, हड्डियों में दर्द होता है because it's growing. Muscles में दर्द होता है because when muscles grow, दर्द होता है. When you go to gym, it hurts, yeah? When you're growing the muscles, it hurts. Because growth means hurts. If your life hurts right now, what does it mean? You're growing. If you take it like that, that growth will be tremendous. You will enjoy that growth. Okay. Oh, it's 8:42. I'm so sorry.
Doing all that, why it's so difficult to surrender?
Sorry?
Doing all this, why it's so difficult to surrender?
Surrender to who? I mean, give in? Huh? Surrender to God. Why is it, Prabhu is asking, why is it hard to surrender to God when we know all of this? Very brilliant. Why is it so hard? Because we all know. We all know. But the thing is, huh? Who said that? Yes, very nice. Because Maya, you know what Maya does? Maya gives us a perspective which is not true. Because the word Maya means which is not. Thing that is not. It's called Maya. For example, you get up in the morning, Maya says, 5 minutes or so. Now, some people get up, some people don't. Who decides who will get up is the person. The surrender part is there. Surrender part happens when you have no control. When you can't surrender when you have no control on your apne mind pe. But if you have control on your mind through scriptures, then you can surrender better. मैं बताता हूँ कैसे. For example, if I have to catch a flight at 4 a.m., I will get up at 2. Or 1 o'clock I can get up. But if I don't have a flight, if I just have to go to temple, like 5 minutes, लेट हो जाएंगे क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? दर्शन वैसे भी कर लेंगे. बस एक बार भगवान के दर्शन कर लो बस. That's Maya as well. Because Maya, what it does, Maya creates that illusion in us that we are in control. And surrender means, God, you are in control. Because we think we are in control, we cannot surrender. The day we realize I am not in control, He is in control, all I have to do is do my best. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't think of the result. You do your best. Surrender will come when your intelligence is stronger than your mind. And the only way that can happen is through chanting and reading scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you want to really have that surrender, don't depend on you and your mind. Depend on the Lord. So for example, if I have to get up in the morning to go to temple, no matter what your mind says in the morning. Kal yaar main sone to gaya tha time pe lekin neend aayi nahi hai. If I get up right now, पूरे दिन गुस्सा करूंगा बच्चों पे, कोई मतलब नहीं है, थोड़ी देर और सो जाता हूँ. All of this is Maya. So surrender happens when you are depending on Him. But don't depend on Him without doing something on your own. ऐसा नहीं है कि प्रभु ने बोला डिपेंडिंग ऑन वो, अब तो तक के लाके सो जाता हूँ. गॉड उठाना होगा तो उठा देंगे, नहीं तो सोते रहेंगे. That's not what I mean. You do your best and then you surrender. When I was preparing for my first class, I asked someone, you please tell me what can I do? And they said, depend on Krishna. And I said, okay. And he said, hey, wait. Depend on Krishna after you have prepared well for the class. Then you depend on Krishna. ऐसा नहीं वहाँ जाके बैठ गए, Krishna बचा लो. Does it make sense? All right. Anybody has any questions, any comments? Anybody wants to share anything? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.